Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling for our All Elite Wrestling save. We are coming off the recent AEW Revolution pay-per-view. Last episode, we of course established some of our new rivalries. We had a 65 rated show. Revolution itself, 81 rated, which of course had the Young Bucks beating the Inner Circle in the main event for 82. At a pretty good buy rate, so things are going pretty well for us at this stage. And as we said, we are now looking to establish some new storylines and rivalries, and also kind of wrap up some of the ones that we were already working on. But for the most part, the big match that we're looking to build towards looks to be the Pinnacle versus probably a team that might consist of Sting, the Hardys, and Jon Moxley. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out. That might be a blood and guts match, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that one all works out. But our next major show will be the House That Always Wins. So that will be our next pay-per-view, and we're going to hold that at this stage, week 1 of April, which only gives us about 3 or 4 weeks of build. So 24 days until that event. We could push that back if we need to week 2. But that's a working date at this point in time. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I think another pay-per-view along the way before Double or Nothing is crucial for us, just to make sure that we get things in motion for the big event. And we've got a few things we want to wrap up, and we want to, we don't want to, we don't have to wait 2-3 months until the next pay-per-view. We need another pit stop along the way, and I think that will be a really good one. So I'm looking forward to that. A little bit of news before we get going. Andrade, of course now known as La Sombra, he's gotten some contract offers, so he will be joining a different company. He's got 66 popularity in USA, of course, 79 in Mexico. Well, I personally wasn't going to sign him. I was kind of on the fence, like, yeah, it would be good for our roster. He's a good wrestler, good popularity, but I just don't have any interest in really booking him. Well, it's taken out of my hands anyways, because in the end, if we were going to offer him a deal, it says, it recommends, look, you should probably pay him $45,000 a month, right? Well, New Japan are offering him $133,000 per month. That's nearly 3 times, that is more than 3 times the amount than what we would offer. So there is just no way in hell would I pay $133,000. I wouldn't pay anyone. Moxley doesn't even earn that much. Chris Jericho, I don't even think earns that much. But he's not even going to sign there. He says he doesn't care. He doesn't want to go there because CMLL have offered him $107,000 per month, and he would rather go there than New Japan. So La Sombra is heading back to Mexico, $107,000 per month. That is a lot of money. A lot of money. Think about it. If we're going to offer him a per show basis, it'd only be $2,500 per show, which is what I would have offered him. I wouldn't have offered him maybe $3,000 the most per show. $107,000. New Japan have got a lot of money to spend. $130,000. And the funny thing is, he only has 62 popularity in Japan, and they're offering that much money for him. It's quite unbelievable, honestly. Evolve also offered him a contract. I don't think that's going to really go too far now that he's going to probably go to CMLL. And Marty Scurll, well, less said about him probably the better, but he's also got an offer by Evolve as well. He's got 54 popularity. I think we should probably dump that down to like 30 at this stage. But his career could be resurrected thanks to Evolve. I don't know what they're doing there. But nonetheless, I thought that was quite interesting anyways. So obviously, I've done a bit of an update for the WWE in terms of some of the guys on their roster. A few people in their roster probably lacking a bit of popularity in terms of where they're at currently in the WWE. For example, Drew McIntyre had quite severe low popularity. So did Bobby Lashley. In comparison to where they're kind of positioned on the card these days. Lashley, I think high 60s, now I've bumped him to 74. So I've done a bit of a WrestleMania update. I'll do more in the future just to kind of get WWE back up to speed of where it might be currently and in the real life. Just so like someone like Bianca Belair had 29 pop. That's obviously very far away from where she should be at this stage. So we'll try and do more of that just to keep things up to date with the WWE. Because at the moment, Baron Corbin is the Universal Champion. God help him. The other champion is Bray Wyatt. So I actually lowered Bray Wyatt's popularity since in real life he's just been ruined. But here in TW land, Bray Wyatt is like probably one of the best wrestlers in the game. He has got consistently good performances. He had 81 popularity. He started at 75. WWE actually got him up to 83 popularity, and I bumped him down to 78 just to kind of make it a little bit more realistic. But yeah, 83 popularity for Bray Wyatt. So he was killing it. Maybe I should, probably keep that for WWE. If he's earned that popularity, then he should probably keep it. But yeah, he's currently 2-time WWE champion, so he's done really well there and has been champion since December 2020. So he's been champion for 93 days. So he's done pretty well there. McIntyre had a pretty long reign as well, so that was good. So a lot of things in WWE are fairly, keeping in line with what's going on in the real. But Dolph Ziggler's Intercontinental Champion, Ali's the US Champ, Women's Tags, Naomi and Tamina, SmackDown Women's Champs, Charlotte, New Day Tag Champs, Sonya Deville's Raw Women's Champ, and Street Profits are the Tag Champs on Raw as well. So some things maybe not so much, but for the most part, it's all fairly in line with what's going on. So I thought that was interesting. Last couple of pieces of news. I've been looking at our training facility, which is called the Nightmare Factory, which in the game it's considered as a performance center. So I've been looking at this and kind of going, okay, what can we really do here? Well, I've kind of taken a look at the performance center and wanted to really see, is it really benefiting anyone from going here? Because this is a relatively new concept in the new game. So I wanted to take a look, is someone like Airwolf, Angel Dorado, is he getting a lot of being out of the performance center? Well, considering his stats, from the start of the game in around July, June, for example, Brawling started at 31. Now in February, he's up to 37. So that's quite a big game. Technical, 52 up to 56. Psychology, 38 to 43. Charisma, 57 to 61. So you can see there's a fair, decent gain. Now, it's taken a while to get it, but in considering it kind of does what it does in the background, we don't have to do anything extra, and the fact that we don't have house shows, we don't have live events, so we can't actually get that benefit from it. It kind of works out pretty well. So that's why I've assigned Shaquille O'Neal to the Performance Center in hopes that, maybe he might be able to get a couple extra points in a few different areas before we're ready to kind of put him in the ring. Because at the moment, I don't know when or where we're going to put him in the ring, but at some point we will. I mean, you've obviously got the big show, the Paul White match versus Shaq. Or, we could put him in a tag team match scenario. For example, it could be in a 6-man tag or an 8-man tag, and he can have a little spot in a match. Something along those lines. I don't think a one-on-one match is going to go well. He's got enough popularity where he can pull it off. That's the good thing. So that's something to consider. But another one as well is Jade Cargill. I've decided to assign her there to try and boost up her stats. Now, I've actually updated her skills in line to the new mod update. So you'll notice that some of her stats have gone up, some of her stats have gone down. But for the most part, this is now accurate to what the recent update of this mod now is. So you'll find that the only difference I've done is her menace. That the game had it set at 28 menace, whereas I felt at least 60. I put it to 70 personally, but I bumped it down to 60. But her star quality went up from, I had it at 77, now it's at 85. So some things have changed for the better, but for the most part, her fundamental skills aren't really much better. But I think she will be a factor for us, and hopefully putting her in the Performance Center can get a bit of a benefit out of there. Now, we can have 7 people in the Performance Center, so I put Anthony Ogogo in there as well. And some other people have got Anthony Bowens, NJ, Dorado, and Airwolf. So, so Top Flight's in there as well. I did have Max Caster as well as Bowens, but we decided to take Caster out to try and fit in Shaquille O'Neal. Probably a fair trade, I would say. But yeah, so things are looking pretty good, and hopefully we can get some more benefit from the Performance Center, because obviously, as I said, we can't do house shows. Maybe, you could probably do one a month. I mean, that would be pretty cool, I guess, to do one a month. But I would probably rather just do like a non-televised event that we run ourselves once a month, rather than, a house show that we don't have any control over. So that's something we could probably consider at some point down the line, because, I think more events that we do, the better. Especially, as we said, House Always Wins coming up. That's good, but I think, maybe we can squeeze another event in or two. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with everything there. But I would have liked to have done AEW Elevation as well as AEW Dark, maybe having a third show, just another hour. But instead, we're not able to do that because we're not big enough to have 3 different TV shows, and that's probably fair enough. So nonetheless, let's go ahead and continue moving on and get into this week's Dark. Alright, let's get into Dark, where we've got Anthony Ogogo making his debut against Michael Nakazawa. And his new gimmick, Professional Fighter, was given a rating of very good, so that's a good start for him. Obviously, he doesn't have any popularity here in the US, doesn't have much wrestling skill, but I wanted just to get a bit of a small little gauge where he's at, what are we working with, really. And we gave him a win over Michael Nakazawa. I thought about giving him a stronger opponent to make him, have a strong, solid match, but have him take a loss. But I figured, he's the type of guy that might go on an undefeated streak. So I don't want to have that, be gone before it even begins. So we keep him with a win here, and we'll reassess what we want to do with him. I think the best thing for him probably would be to put him in a stable. Honestly, I know we have a lot of stables, and I know AEW's got a stigma about that, but probably put him in a stable with someone and, have him hide away a little bit like Wardlow in a sense. Just, he's there, he's, on screen, does a few little things and angles and things like that, the occasional match. I think that's probably the best way to use him for a fair while until he gets better. We opened up the show with Anna Jay and the Dark Order cutting a promo on Thunder Rosa, so we're building towards Thunder Rosa and Anna Jay one-on-one. And that match was rated 30, so we had Anna Jay take the loss here to Thunder Rosa. Of course, this is part of the Women's Number 1 Contender Tournament. And in the end, it was actually Eric Redbeard interfering and distracting Anna Jay and the Dark Order to help Thunder Rosa win. So, of course, recently, Eric Redbeard kind of booted out of the Dark Order. They said, no, we don't want him anymore. They beat him down. And, he gets a small little bit of revenge here, costing Anna Jay an opportunity to advance in the tournament. 30 rated match in the end. Obviously, not enough popularity here, but this is going to be the whole problem throughout the tournament. There's not enough popularity from the women's division in general. The only way they get them better is to put them on the show, so that's what we're doing. Eddie Kingston cuts a promo on the Jurassic Express. So, obviously, Eddie Kingston's still aligned with the Lucha Bros. We still have that as the family. I thought about reverting it to the Butcher and Blade, but I figured Eddie Kingston with, the Lucha Bros, it's a much better combination. And look, the Lucha Bros, they can't cut promos, so it's perfect, really, to have someone who can cut promos for them at a high level. Eddie Kingston's great for that. So, 57 promo from him, building towards Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express. Sean Spears gets a win over Joey Janelle in a 31 rated match. And we tried to make this a wild brawl, and it did help Janela and Spears in terms of their in-ring performance, but we didn't have enough hype, I suppose. I thought coming off a decent promo might help, but I suppose the opening match brought it down a little bit. I'm trying to get Sean Spears' momentum to turn around. He's just on ice-cold momentum and has been throughout the entire series, despite the fact that I've been getting him wins. So I'm trying just to, look, no more losses for Sean Spears for a while, just beating up the lower card guys, and hopefully association with MJF helps him a little bit. 31 rated match. 30 rated promo for the Hunks. So I haven't figured out a name yet. I don't know the real life name for Cesar Bononi, Ryan Nemeth, and JD Drake. We brought them in though. And Cesar Bononi, cocky gimmick rated great. Ryan Nemeth, Hollywood Hunk gimmick rated great. JD Drake, just an old school heel gimmick. I didn't really adjust his, to be honest. Rated as awful. And that probably describes my feelings towards JD Drake. I do feel like he's pretty awful. So that's probably a fair assessment. I'm not a fan of him yet. But we've got a new stable. They're going to be called the Hunks for now. That's a working name. We might change that. But anyways, they debut in the ring with a promo rated 30 for that. So I'm trying to get these guys started. Look, another low card stable. Cesar Bononi and Ryan Nemeth will most likely be the team, and JD Drake more of the manager sort of. I don't even know. Can he cut a promo? I don't even know. Nonetheless, they had a match with the Gun Club, and well, maybe we should forget about Cesar Bononi and Ryan Nemeth as a team because they have absolutely zero chemistry as partners. Well, that went well, didn't it? That went really well. I did adjust the Gun Club's chemistry. I gave them good chemistry. For whatever reason, it's saying they have great chemistry. It should only be like good. I figured because, they're being brothers. You've been around each other for your entire life, so you should have some sort of chemistry with your brother, right? So that's why we've given them good chemistry, even though they probably haven't wrestled a lot together. 18 rated match. This was an absolute dud. Yikes. So, well, I don't know. The Hunks, no chemistry together as partners. Maybe we'll change that just to give him neutral because I don't really want JD Drake in the ring if I don't have to. Lance Archer stormed into the backstage locker room looking for Brian Cage. Instead, he beat up anyone in his sight, and that was rated just 40. So I probably did him a little bit disservice by actually rating these guys. Michael Nakazawa, Serpentico, Luther, Dante Martin, and Darius Martin. I rated them on selling and rated Lance Archer on his fighting skill. If I just had a focus on Lance Archer only, maybe this would have went down a little bit better. But it actually brought down the storyline for the four-way down, so that's a bit disappointing. Private Party defeated TNT for 30, Mark Quinn 45, Isaac Cassidy 52, the Dudleys 23 each. I thought Private Party would have enough popularity to get this over the line, but obviously not. I'm kind of, like as I said, in recent weeks, I'm trying to use Stark a little bit more to expose more guys and get them featured a little bit more, especially our low-end talent. Someone like Private Party, they should be higher up the card by now. We just haven't got them there. So I'm trying to make more of an effort just to use them more, get them in the ring. This is the sort of match that won't help them, but it's good to get them more experience and kind of work with some of the low tag teams like TNT just to try and bump them just a little bit up the card. Best Friend cut a promo on Evilise for 54. That's pretty good. So Chris Statlander versus Evilise coming up next, a part of the women's tournament. 40 rated. Hallelujah. We actually had a decent match in this tournament. 40 rated. Evilise 40. Chris Statlander 43. And Statlander wins and will advance through to the next round. So that's a good match. And the main event, well, we had to finish something strong. We had to do something good on this card because so far it's been abysmal. Lucha Bros, Natural Nightmares 57 in the end. QT 30. Dustin Rose 49. Penta 63. Ray Phoenix 75. This is why we're trying to push the Lucha Bros a bit more. They are awesome. Very good as a team. In fact, I think they should probably be top 3 tag teams in our roster. At this stage, probably like 6 or 7. There's a lot of teams ahead of them. I suppose if we don't use the Inner Circle as much as a team, someone like the Lucha Bros could really move up and maybe take their spot at the top of the card. Because they are so good. This 57 rated match gives us a 43 rated show. And in my opinion, this was a shitstorm. Alright, Dynamite is all booked, and let's get into it. Diamante versus Bea Priestley on the pre-show, and it is a part of the Women's Championship Contenders Tournament. Both women performing at 32. Diamante picking up the win, 34 rated in the end. We kick off the main show itself with MJF and his pinnacle. It is Cash Dax, Sean Spears, and Wardlow. Tully's out there too. And they are talking some trash about the roster, of course, and they're all demanding title shots. FTR wants a title shot. Even Sean Spears thinks he deserves a title shot. MJF in particular, though, he wants Jon Moxley. The Hardys, they're back after getting beaten down a few weeks ago at Revolution, and they are looking for a fight. They confront, but the numbers game just too much for them. They get beaten down by the Pinnacle. 78 rated in the end. So, resetting back up the Hardys, who obviously are frustrated at FTR, who attacked them after their win at Revolution. So Well, now FTR has even more backup, and the Hardys just kind of realized that here tonight, that hey, this is going to be even more difficult than we thought. So 78 for that one. We then threw the Pinnacle in a match just to kind of get them a win, an easy win, just to make them look great against some of the young up-and-coming guys. The best in the match was Cash Wheeler 65, Dax 62, Spears 40, Wardlow 50. Wow, Wardlow at 50 is really good. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of get him in there, get him another win. As we talked about earlier, Sean Spears needs wins. Wardlow hasn't had a lot of matches, so this is a good chance to get him in there. 8-man tag, simple match. Didn't last too long. Easy win there for the Pinnacle, just to kind of, establish them as a group and see them all in the ring together. So 53 rated. Hardy Boys are backstage, and they are pleading to Jon Moxley. Look, we know you hate MJF just as much as we do. Now he's got the Pinnacle. He wants your title. FTR coming after us. We need to fight back. We need to do something about them ASAP. Sting's not around to, get them in order, so we're going to have to take matters into our own hands. So they are pleading to Moxley, can you please come and aid us to try and take down the Pinnacle? 73 rated for that promo. Pretty good. Speaking of promos, Don Callis is with the new Elite, Kenny, Carl, and Luke Gallows. They're at Kenny Omega's mansion, and they do accept the Elite's challenge for a match, but they will name the terms and the conditions. 75 rated for that segment. The Young Bucks had an 80 rated match against the Hybrid 2. Wow, very good. So the Young Bucks got beaten down last week by the Inner Circle, and they're looking to bounce back this week, and they put their titles on the line, even though technically they don't have the tag team titles in their possession. They said, look, that's not going to stop us. You might take our titles, but we're going to still keep on defending them, even though you've got them in your hands. We're going to still defend the pride and honor of being tag team champions, even though we don't have the physical belts. Well, the Young Bucks, 83 apiece, and Helico 52, Jack Evans 45. We made this a steal the show match, which obviously is the Young Bucks specialty, I feel. And they delivered. 80 rated is fantastic. Obviously, probably should have been the main event when you think about it, but I kind of just put this as a strong, solid match in the middle of the card. Probably will turn out to be one of our best matches we've had on Dynamite in a long time. So 80 rated is fantastic. And I know, look, the Young Bucks will deliver. I know they'll have a great match all the time, which is why I don't put them on the show all the time, because it seems a bit too easy. You'd be like Cody Rhodes, he's going to have a great 70-plus match. Same with Kenny all the time. So it kind of takes the challenge away a little bit by just having them on the card every week. So that's why we put them in a match every few weeks or every month on Dynamite, for example. Post-match, though, the Young Bucks say they will keep defending the belts, keep defending the championships, even if they don't have the belts, and they demand them back. And we see Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, quick little segment, quick little shot of them holding the belts, enjoying the belts, and letting them know that they're not going to get it back anytime soon. So 86 rated from that segment. Very good, advancing and improving the storyline there. So Inner Circle Young Bucks getting a little bit of extra heat. Obviously, we're going to set up for a rematch, and I think that will be a pretty solid match. Look, they got an 82 at the pay-per-view. I feel like we can do better than that. So I'm hopeful that in the rematch, it kind of delivers a little bit more. Maybe we add a stipulation to it to hype it up a little bit extra. Miro took on Ricky Starks for 66. Miro 66, Ricky Starks 49. Wow, Ricky Starks performing at 49 now is fantastic. So this is a good match for Ricky, a really solid one. Might be the best he's had, potentially. Maybe the Cody match is a little bit better, but really good from Ricky, and good indication where he's at. We haven't used Ricky a lot as of late because Brian Cage has been more of the centerpiece, but it's good to get Ricky back involved, and I'd like to probably maybe get him started with a storyline at some sorts very soon. So fantastic though, 66. Post-match, Cage. He came out and attacked Miro, obviously to help out his friend Ricky Starks. Lance Archer just wants to fight anyone who moves, and he's pissed off, he's angry, so he wants to fight Brian Cage, and he fights Miro as well. And then Park's got the championship. He's standing up on the stage, just laughing. Look, these guys are doing the work for me. They're all beating each other up. By the time we actually have a match, they're all going to be beaten to hell, and that's going to be an easy win for me. So Park's certainly enjoying himself at the moment. His run as TNT champion is going very, very well so far, in his opinion. All his potential contenders are just beating the crap out of each other, and he's untouched. So, 68 for that segment. Jade Cargill is laughing in the face of her opponent tonight, Layla Hirsch, of course, a part of the TNT Championship tournament. And Jade Cargill just not fazed by Layla at all. Well, why would she? I mean, look at the size difference between those two. It's a foot difference, so Jade's feeling pretty confident. And, oh, wow, 6 rated. 6 rated for the match. Yikes. Okay, so both women performed at 29. I didn't expect much, but I thought Jade might be able to get a little bit better than that, considering she's got a little bit of popularity. But, yep, that's a dud. 6 is horrible. I only gave it 5 minutes, so at least the horror show didn't last too long. Christian Cage is having a sit-down interview with Jim Ross for 75 as they discuss Christian's return to the ring after being gone for 7 years. So Christian's back. So we're really trying to hype up Christian's return match, which will be the main event of tonight's show. So the second half of the show really becomes all about Christian and his big return, because obviously Christian's a heel, so he's going to want to hype it up and make himself feel like a bigger deal. And this is the biggest moment in wrestling in years. You know, I'm coming back. You know, this is huge. So trying to hype it up and make it a bit ridiculous, just to kind of play into the gimmick a little bit. Big Swole took on Serena Deeb, and this is another stinker, 25. So Big Swole 36, Serena 32. Serena picked up the win, and she advances through to the tournament. So far, the opening rounds of this tournament is delivering nothing but dog shit. But hopefully, in the next couple of rounds, we start to get a bit of quality. I'm not surprised, honestly, because there's not a lot of quality in the women's division. When you try and put 16 of them in a tournament, you're going to get some bad performances, and we are experiencing that. So hopefully when it gets down to 8, as things start to pick up a little bit, I'm confident it will, but 25 for this one. And then we have a hype video package as well for Christian Cage, showing all his career highlights and accomplishments and everything like that. As much as we can without using WWE content, so it's a pretty short video package in the end. But anyway, 62 for that one, and now Christian's big return to the ring. I mean, how's it going to go? I don't think it's going to be... You know, he's only got 65 pops, so can he produce a 70 rated performance? I mean, he's up against Matt Sydal, so hopefully, you know, a 65 plus match, I suppose, would be decent. Let's see it. 60. Well, it's not Christian's fault. He performed at 68, so that's 3 above his popularity, so that's a positive. Matt Sydal, 50. Nothing wrong with his efforts. It just didn't quite get there. But 60 overall for the main event, yeah, that's going to bring the show quality down quite a bit. But nonetheless, Christian Cage defeating Matt Sydal. We gave it 18 minutes. I wanted to really see where Christian's at. Can he be a main event guy? Can he be a top performer? Well, 68 in ring, it's not far off, is it? You know, if he gets to 70 popularity, he should be performing 70 to 75 in ring, and that is fine. That is perfectly fine. We can work with that. So that's got to be the goal with Christian, get his popularity up to that 70 mark so he can get around that mid-70s in-ring performance. Matt Sydal, positive thing for him though, 50 rated. That means, you know, he's got low 40s pop. That really means he could be a mid-card player for us. We brought his brother in, Mike, so, you know, he's probably going to transition to being a bit of a tag team, occasional tag team guy, which will give him more opportunities because at the moment he's not getting used a lot, but it gives me some hope that he could be decent with 50 performance there. And post-match, Christian celebrates his win. He's going way over the top, celebrating and even mocking Matt Sydal, getting in his face and rubbing it in and enjoying the moment. Christian back with a big win, 67 for the last segment, and it gives us, well, hey, we got there, 70 rated show. So the Young Bucks match got us over the line, plus some good segments as well. And when you think about it, Ricky Starks and Miro was good too, so we had 3 fairly decent matches on the show, as well as some good segments and a couple of bad ones, but I'll take a 70, that is solid. Alright, all the fallout from our episode. We'll start with NXT. 748,000 viewers. They had a 71 rated show, so they just beat us in terms of quality. We had 825,000 viewers, as we said, 70 rated in the end. Some news, not too much there to look at, but pretty good though. I'm happy with our results, 70. Anytime we get 70, I'm pretty happy with that, especially when we're not trying to overuse some of our top guys. And we had to use the Young Bucks, I suppose, in this time to get it, but you can't expect 80 from them all the time, I suppose. I thought maybe 65 to 70, but 80 is fantastic. Quick look at the popularity changes. Let's have a look. So first thing I'm noticing is major stars. Paul White now, he was not originally considered to be a major star, now he is. Obviously Shaq joins that list as well. I'm still not sure when we're going to use Shaq specifically. And Jeff Hardy, I don't know if Jeff Hardy was there. I don't think he was. Well, he is now. So our major star list has grown quite a bit. And Jeff Hardy joins that list despite the fact that he's lost a bit of popularity as of late. MJF, 67 popularity now. So he's starting to get close to that 70 mark, that magical 70 mark that I feel that everyone needs to strive for. The Young Bucks are around... Nick's gone up to 64. Matt can't be too far away, so that's good. The Young Bucks gaining some popularity as well. Well, here's something I noticed. Carl Anderson now jumping up to 50 popularity, which is obviously fantastic. He's been not doing as well as perhaps we would have liked. He and Luke Gallows. Gallows up to 47, and of course we're talking about the Southeast. So that's positive as well. So if we can get them towards 50 plus, they can obviously become one of our top heel tag teams, which would be very ideal for us as well. And Luchasaurus 49, Jungle Boy 50, so they have really risen up the ranks, and that's been a great little progression of ours. We've been trying to get them up there. It's been a bit of a goal of ours to try and move them up the card, and it's great to see them actually getting there. You can have all these plans and aspirations, but it's when you actually pull it off, it's good. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Matt Sydal had a big main event match, still at 42 pop. He's actually doing a little bit better than I expected. Now 42, that's pretty good. If we ever bring the TNT title back down the card a little bit further, someone like Matt Sydal would be a good pick for it. Probably Ricky Starks would be ahead of it for me. He's now at 37 popularity, so he is very close to hitting that 40 mark, which if 70 is magical, well 40 is even better, I feel. 40 is like, the holy grail. It means you're no longer a jobber once you get to 40. Speaking of jobbers, Sean Spears, 34 popularity, so he's still guilty by association, and he's now gone up a point. He was 33, now he's 34. So hallelujah, Sean Spears is doing something right, still has ice cold momentum, and I don't know, he's had 5 wins, 2 losses in 2021, 11-11 overall for the year. So ice cold, it's probably a little bit unfair, I feel. We've actually loaned out a few of our talent to Impact Wrestling. So something that I'm looking to do a little bit more is, considering we don't have the luxury of having house shows, is kind of setting some of our talent abroad a little bit. And we're not even wanting anything back, because is there anyone from Impact that I would even want on our roster, even for a show, for a night? I'm looking down the card. I mean, Ken Shamrock's got a bit of popularity, but how well will he really do? So there really isn't anyone. Maybe Rhino, RVD might be good for a match. Rich Swann, Tennille Dashwood would be good, yeah. So I've actually sent some people there. I think I've sent Wardlow, I've sent Kip Sabian, I think I might have sent Private Party. I've sent a few talents abroad in hopes that they can get a bit more experience in the ring and hopefully just build up their skills a little bit. Fingers crossed they don't get injured. That would obviously be disastrous. But someone like Wardlow, we don't have him wrestle a lot. He's had 11 matches so far in the series. And before that match here on Dynamite, his last match apart from the Battle Royal was in January, so 3 months ago. So he hasn't had a lot of opportunities, and really it seems like he's getting a match every month or two. So having him go to Impact, he's got 5 appearances there. That might mean he might get 5 matches there. And that just gives him a chance, obviously, to work as a top guy. He'll be working there as a main event guy. Gives him a bit of experience there and hopefully boost up his stats a little bit. And someone like Kip Sabian, well, he's coming off an accidental win over Darby Allin. So he's now got a bit of a boost to his career, 30 popularity now, and a chance for him to go there and maybe get a bit of popularity, maybe just boost his skills again and kind of get a bit of momentum happening for him. And so I think that's a benefit of having that alliance and that partnership. We can do that. So that's something that I'm going to look to do a little bit more going forward. As I said, we don't have house shows, so we can send them to either AAA or Impact. Those are our two partnerships there. And look, we could get someone in return. Last, before we get going, let's take a look. Christian's storyline now sitting at 60. Obviously, Brock bringing down thanks to, I wouldn't say a bad match, but just, fairly average. So not an amazing start from Christian in his return, but there are some good signs nonetheless. Other things, a new Elite versus the Elite 75. Would like to bring that up a little bit. A couple more good storyline, good angles. The Pinnacle's 78 for them at the moment. Try and bring that up a touch as well. Obviously, that's due to Sting and MJF's match. The four-way's going well. 65 rated. The women's tournament. Well, I haven't put a lot of the women in the actual storyline, so that's conserving it a little bit. But so far, the women's tournament has been a little bit of a bust. I'm not surprised, as we said earlier on, the early stages of the tournament not going so well. We only have to do Penelope Ford and Riho, and then we're on to the quarterfinals, which at the moment is looking like Sheeta versus Abaddon, Rosa versus Deeb, Diamante Statlander, and I would say Riho versus Jade Cargill. So, who's going to win the tournament overall? Yeah, it's a good question. I suppose, Sheeta might be the favourite, and maybe Jade Cargill on the other end. So it could be a Jade Cargill-Sheeta final. We are giving Jade Cargill the big push, I know. She hasn't got a lot of reason to get it, but if you're going to use her, she needs to be used in a big way. She has 31 popularity, so yeah. And that actually was her first match. I didn't even realize that. I thought we had debuted already. So her first match, 6 rated. And last thing as well is we have actually upgraded our arena. So I've upgraded it to allow 920 people. I wanted a flat 900, but the game wouldn't let me. So we've upgraded to about 900 people to be a part of the arena. Reason being is because COVID's slightly easing a little bit. I mean, WrestleMania can get 20, 40,000, whatever it was. So, the restrictions are, it's just getting a little bit easier. So I think a small little bump in fans, I think we only extra 320 in, will help our revenue just slightly. But I think for our pay-per-view, we might actually go all the way and allow the full amount of fans and have it at Daly's place and allow the 5,500 fans in for our pay-per-views. So that's something that I'm playing up, deciding whether I'm going to do that or not, but that will probably most likely the decision. Otherwise, we're slowly running out of money. We've started at 10 million, 11 million, now we're down to 5 million. So Tony Khan's got plenty of money, but he's going to run out soon. So that's not good for us. But nonetheless, that's all for this episode. Thank you for watching. More to come in the near future. Hope you join us for it. Subscribe and leave a like to see more, and we'll see you all in the next one.